started.
Good afternoon, councillors and council staff, and welcome to the October meeting of Murrumbidgee Council. We pay respect to the traditional custodians of the land of the Murrumbidgee local government area and to all Aboriginal elders past, present and emerging. We are committed to honouring the continuing connection that First Australians hold to Murrumbidgee's land, waters and community as one of the oldest living cultures in human history. In the spirit of open, accessible and transparent government and to ensure this meeting is open to the public, this council meeting is being recorded. This recording will be placed on council's website following the meeting. Call for any apologies. Accounted for. We'll refer to the minutes of the extraordinary council meeting held on the 3rd of October 2024. Somebody like to move, please. Move Councillor Saxix, seconded Councillor Cherba. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Find all councillors declaring interest declarations. And on the form here, are there any others? If not, we'll move on. Notice of motion, no notice of motion. We will move to the mayor's report. Everybody's got a copy of it in front of them. The year certainly has moved along very quickly, and we now come to October. We've moved to local government elections, and we welcome Hayley Heath to our council table, our new councillor from the Darlington Point Township. I'd like to publicly recognise Councillor Gavin Gilbert's contribution to council and thank him for his commitment over the many years. I'd also like to acknowledge the effort that was put into celebrating my 20 years in local government. It was a really nice surprise to be recognised, particularly in my hometown with my family present and my fellow councillors and the staff attending. I've mentioned the local government elections. We had an extraordinary meeting on the 3rd of October, and we all undertook our oath, our prescribed affirmational oath, and we were inducted. It's a privilege to have been elected to be the mayor of the council for the next few years. We value being trusted with this position, and I think yes, while Rob, Councillor Black and I are the mayor and deputy mayor, I think this is very much a team effort and we value that approach. There's significant changes occurring in many of our neighbouring councils, so we will endeavour to create and build new relationships as we move forward. In regional and rural councils, collaboration is vital. It allows us access and support as we strive to service our communities the best way we can. We can't do that all by ourselves. Our communities have been really busy socially, with some of the bigger events were the Pig Day out in Darlington Point, the Spring Fair in Darlington Point, and the Murrumbidgee Gold Cup Race Day meeting. There was a successful school holiday program which included skate workshops and roller discos. Council is busy ensuring that our swimming pools are ready for opening. All going to plan, this will be the 2nd of November 2024. And given today's spike in temperature, I think they will be ready to be well patronised. We have our management, our lessees all in place, and the rain at the weekend will be very welcome for getting our grounds looking the best they can. There's much activity happening across our council footprint. The residential subdivision in Young Street, Darlington Point continues to progress. Our timeline for completion is September, all going well. The car park works at the Darlington Point Cemetery have commenced. The shared spaces legacy door project at the rear of the Murrumbidgee Hall connecting it to Milk Park is nearing completion, and the associated landscaping and painting will follow immediately. Sure. The netball change in the park is almost complete. It's a program for the 23rd of September. Free church managed to provide the place has been ordered, and we're looking forward to its installation in the very near future. At present, there is community consultation being undertaken regarding the Billabong Creek floodplain management plan. If this directly impacts you or anybody that you know of, please visit this website. For further information and commentary, you also have an ability to book a one-on-one appointment at Murrumbidgee today, which that's actually not true because they were booked out. I suggested they allocate more time, but that wasn't taken on board favourably. For our community's information, there is a current update of renewable energy projects, including the Transgrid project in Council's monthly business paper. It's our intention to also place this on Council's website in the near future. Council starting to roll out user group meetings for our sporting precincts. It will involve all sporting and community groups that use these facilities. The first meeting will be in Murrumbidgee tomorrow on the 23rd of October, and the other meetings to follow in Conambley and Darlington Point in the near future. And below are a list of meetings I have attended. Are there any questions, please? If not, would somebody like to move? Move Councillor Black, second Councillor Movement. With the mayoral will those in favour, please say aye. Yes. Carried. Thank you. We will move on to item 1, please.
Thank you, Councillor McRae. Seeking resolutions of council. The first one is in relation to the Long Daycare Centre in Darlington Point. At the last meeting of council, I nominated a couple of lots to swap with What Housing. Since then, they come back with their selections, which is 1 Young Street and 47 Paulina Parade, in swap for the site of 31 Carrington Street, Darlington Point. I'll be seeking a resolution on that. Council wishes to do that. Council housing replacements. The first house under the housing replacement is due to be handed over late December to council. Council still needs to do some landscaping, concreting, fencing, front and back, and places like that. And then we've got some money in the budget, $30,000 to do what needs to happen to 9 Gulgumla before we seek if council wants to formally put that on the market. 49 Murrumbidgee Boulevard should have commenced marketing, should have a sign up and everything else like that. We just wait to see what the interest is in on that. I've got a recommendation there just so that council is aware that if we get a request, you're authorising me to be able to accept within our parameters any offers that might come in before it comes back to council. The consultation on the one-way street at Powell Street has concluded. We received 1 person provide feedback, mainly in relation to how they believe it could affect the tourism with only having it a one-way street. I advised the person that responded to it what the process was going to be, the signage we're going to do, the removal of the medium strip to allow the caravans to turn, and the angled parking to provide more parking, and so on and so forth. I wrote back to him, so I'll be seeking a resolution of council to formally turn that into a one-way and go to the traffic committee so we can get our lines and signs approved in relation to that one-way street. I've attached a submission, a draft of the submission for the Minister for Local Government or the Office of Local Government in relation to his Code of Conduct review, a new framework, as he titled it. Most of it, there's no responses to it. There was really not much to do with it. A couple of areas that I wanted to bring to council's attention was particularly in the areas of workshop. And the reason for not having the workshop is something that we have been always doing. We have never had a DA briefing or anything in a workshop at any time. It was just one of those things that we have a community forum process, that if a DA comes if a DA comes forward and there's a objector or whatever, we'll set up our community forum. The objector comes in and speaks on it. Our staff present on it. The objector speaks on it. The applicant speaks on it, and then that's all done. And then council goes back in and they make their decision after they've gathered all of that. So he's sort of put in his framework, his paper. That's one reason for cancelling the briefing sessions, which I agree to, but there's many other ways that can be done. Those things could be right. So that was probably the biggest thing in relation to there. In relation to real estate agents and developers, I made a suggestion in there that if he wants to pursue what he's trying to pursue, I still believe that would be fraught with danger and probably be kicked out by the courts, because he's eventually saying that yes, you can be a councillor, but if you're a councillor and a real estate developer, you have to get rid of all your real estate developments before you can be a councillor, instead of trying to ban councillors, real estate developers from being councillors. He was going the other way around. So all I suggested was, and particularly the problems or the issues of concern are most likely in Sydney. So I just suggested, why don't they have to divest what they've got within their own LGA, and they just have to drive 6 kilometres into the neighbouring LGA to do their development, all of the real estate work. That's all. So I don't know what that would be, and also tried to seek an exemption, say exempt rural and remote areas from that. We're already restricted in candidates and everything else like that to come forth. So that was one thing, was just to accept that that submission. I've got in the paper to go undercover, signed by the mayor at the end of the day. Just a quick couple of days off. End of next week, beginning of the other week. We've got Ramsgo and Hay, then we've got Country Mayors in Sydney, then we've got LGNSW conference in Tamworth, and then I've got a couple of days in Melbourne for a medical procedure on those dates. Is there any questions, Councillor?
And when somebody like to move Councillor Black, so we need Councillor Storm. Councillor Black, would you like to speak?
I would like to speak to it. I believe the first policy going forward is the daycare centre. I think that now that the people have got back to us about their proposed blocks, that it's a very sensible, good idea to have. So I think that we should be going forward with the blocks that they have chosen at their request. We have an excellent block of land, which we will develop as a childcare centre.
You would like to speak against?
Yeah, I'd like to speak against.
Murphy?
I believe that our previous recommendation that was made on the 3rd of October in regards to lots 6 and 9 Edward Street are a very good fit, and I think we should stick with what we've already agreed upon.
No response.
Any further commentary for? Against?
If you put it to the vote, if it fails, then we'll seek a resolution for that.
Or put it to the vote.
Unless Councillor wants to do an amendment, to move that, just remove section 8. There's nothing else that needs to be done.
That's fine. Councillor, do you wish to have?
I'd like to remove section 8.
Right, okay.
The seconder.
The second of that.
Councillor Durbin, you second that?
I've just, I'm a bit in two minds. I don't mind the first one, but I think the one on Helena Parade, I sort of think, well, they are the prime blocks, and just.
There's a mover and a seconder for an amendment to remove part A of a recommendation.
So we'll take show of hands on if the amendment's going to pass.
Those for removing part A, please raise your hand. 5,
6.
Yep. 5. Okay.
6, so that's carried. Those without part A.
If wished to speak for or against.
Would this impinge on holding up the transfer of the land?
Yes.
So recommendation would read, in relation to the land swap with Water Housing and Advancement Corporation
That's gone.
Council, no,
That's
Part
good.
B. Was council's
Aye.
associated
Yeah,
contracts.
Yeah, sort of,
Yes.
use, let's do.
Part A's been removed, so part B,
Point 1, Julie, of A. Sorry, we've got different. We're keeping up to.
Yeah.
We're keeping point 2.
yes.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, any further questions? Okay. So part B, delegate to the general manager's option to accept, reject or counter any offer presented to council in line with market appraisal by council's real estate agent on the sale of 49 Murrumbidgee Boulevard, Darlington Point. In turn, authorising the general manager to sign all contract documents and reporting back to council at the earliest opportunity. C, approve the establishment of House Street, Murrumbidgee as a one-way street and refer same to the Murrumbidgee Council Traffic Committee for comment. Upon agreement from the Murrumbidgee Council Traffic Committee, proceed with works and installation of signage to facilitate House Street, Murrumbidgee as a one-way street. And D, forward the attached submission to the Office of Local Government under a cover letter signed by the Mayor, Mr. Craig OAM. Put the recommendation, those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried.
Yes, spoken in the interest of, Eric. It's in that blue folder sitting in front of Councillor Bryce there at the moment. If there was anybody that wanted to, from the public that wanted to have a look at it. Otherwise, it's just one of those processes that I called out yesterday. That might repeat.
It's something to do with the cow or something.
Yeah, something to do with the cow. So the recommendation is just that, the information contained, disclosure returns, blah, 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 blah. Any questions?
Somebody like to move, please. Move councillor Manager, seconded councillor Curfew. Or Manager, do you wish?
No.
No? No further comment? I'll put the recommendation which will read. The information contained within the disclosure and returns by councillors, Audit Risk and Improvement Committee members, designated persons report be noted, and disclosures are be made publicly available in accordance with the legislative requirements. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 3, please.
Thank you, through you, Madam Mayor. Item 3 relates to proposed closure, sale, Horn Cove Lane at Logan Grey. This report was presented to council back in September 2023, but unfortunately at the time, council staff had failed to report's been represented back to council, seeking a recommendation for council to sell both Ormond Lane, Logan Grey, Inductons Road and Rolf Road, and then sell that to Goston Nominees Proprietary Limited.
Would somebody like to move, please? Move councillor Major, seconded councillor Curfew. Councillor Major, do you wish to speak to this?
No, well, good, thanks.
You
No.
would? Councillor Black. You're voting against.
No, I want to speak against it.
Okay, well, I'm getting to you. Councillor Major said he doesn't wish to speak to it. Councillor Black, you wish to speak against it?
Yes, I do. I see Horniman Lane is a through road from the two roads mentioned between Rolfe Road and Duncan's Road. Is there through traffic there that would use that road as a shortcut, agricultural people or contractors or anything who would normally use that road? And will that road still be open for them to use?
Through Madam Mayor, I believe that that's certainly possible. There could be traffic using it at the moment. All the surrounding landowners contacted and their comments sought. And if they opposed, that would have been in the original or traffic council. Free. As for whether it will be closed, yes, it will be closed.
Thank you.
Are there any further comments for or against? If not,
Just,
sorry, Councillor Major.
just on the core of it, and that the concern that Rob has is there is another road just some a very short distance, and you might even have it on there, which is Raceby Road, isn't it? So there is an alternative if people want to for machinery that's not on South Corey Road. So it wouldn't inconvenience people to the west, so be to the west of Ornaments. So yeah, there's plenty of alternatives. So, and it's not really the condition of the road isn't that conducive to travelling on it, especially when it's wet as water floods over mid part. It's about all I can say.
In a previous life, I was a contractor and I used many shortcuts to save many kilometres. And this is another example of a council road, council laneway, council being privatised for the betterment of the person either side, and that would normally give contractors and farmers the opportunity to travel between their two properties of concern. So,
Well, I guess council has covered on it, covered off on its due diligence with making available the fact that the adjoining landholders had plenty of opportunity for comment. And also, unfortunately, council, but not all contractors are mindful of road conditions and just absolutely rip the pavement out of it and then leave council with a big issue to have to deal with. So I think as long as we're satisfied the fact that the adjoining landowners do have no objections and there is an alternative route, as Councillor Major's already identified, I think we can be happy with that decision. Okay, so I'll put the recommendation that council as a roads authority close Horniman Lane, Lodi Bray between Duncan's Road and Rolfe Road by a notice published in the Government Gazette. And A, council authorises the sale of the closed road to Augusta Nominees Proprietary Limited for $23,520 plus GST. B, all costs associated with the road closure be borne by Augusta Nominees Proprietary Limited. C, the common seal of council be affixed to any document requiring to be sealed and delegate to the general manager authority to sign any documentation necessary to give effect to this resolution. And D, the purchaser be made aware of existing biodiversity and the details of approvals required for any further vegetation removal. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Next item, please. Item 4, please.
Yeah.
Can I start? This report deals with City Council consideration to advertise 3 traffic matters before taking to a traffic committee meeting. The first matter was raised last council meeting in reducing the speed limit along Drury Street between Kennedy and Bolton Street to 40 kilometres an hour. When we considered this, we decided to add 2 more. Been hearing about the extension of the 80 kilometre zone, Sturt Highway, either side of Wadeye. And the third one was a turning lane on Kidden Way at the junction of Pine Drive. Northern Junction, Pine Drive. So the idea is that we'll go, I'm going to call for public comment on that hopefully can garner some support. We take it to the committee meeting and put it to them for their consideration.
Would somebody like to move, please? Councillor Black, seconded Councillor Sexton. Councillor Black, would you like to speak to this?
Thank you very much. I think the first 2 points are very prudent in reducing the speed for the accidents and saving people's lives, especially on the Sturt Highway at Waddy. The third one is something I have been campaigning for my 12 years on council, as other councillors here would know, back in the Murrumbidgee council days, Murrumbidgee Shire council days. I have been pushing this for so long, ever since I've been on council. So at last I'm getting some traction, even though I'm going grey, trying to get there. So congratulations for you, Gary, for bringing this forward to us.
Anybody want to speak against?
I'd like to affirm what Rob said. All three are equally important and in time. Yeah, great.
Any further comment? Councillor Major?
Yeah, I just think it's, it is a consultation paper, so I think our residents have got opportunity to have input either way. It's not a decision that we've already made, so I think in the paper that's noted. So I think, just for the general public, it's not a done and dusted deal, but we're certainly something.
There's no further comment. I'll put the recommendation. It's been read. The council, 1, approve the commencement of a community consultation process regarding the following proposals. A, reducing the speed limit in Murrumbidgee Street between Trinity and Bolton Streets to 40 kilometres an hour. B, extending the 80 kilometre speed limit area on both ends of the Sturt Highway at the Waddy. And C, creating turning lanes on the Kidman Way at the northern junction with Pine Drive. 2, upon receiving community feedback, authorise the preparation of a detailed submission to the Traffic Committee, leveraging community support to advocate for these changes with Transport for New South Wales. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Excuse me, I've got to go out.
Go. Don't come back.
And through you, Madam Mayor, item 5 relates to local heritage grant funds. Questions were all for submissions for local heritage work on items. Plans. As a result of that, there were 4 applications for funding. These applications were submitted to our assessment panel, including our council heritage advisor, mayor, and secretary of development and tourism. As a result, the assessment panel $4,731 for the Tonga Mate Hall Shed, $7,730 for Hay Road Church, $4,290 for Catholic Church Park Point, and $6,860 for Park Road Cafe. And recommendations are now approved those funds.
Would somebody like to move, please? Move Councillor Kirby, seconded Councillor Major. Councillor Kirby, would you like to speak to this?
No, I'm quite happy with the result.
Any further comment? Recipients as follows: $4,771 to the Top and Lane Richard, it's drainage at the Shearers Quarters, $7,730 to the Hay Road Church in Darlington Point for the repairs of doors and window frames, $4,290 to the Catholic Church in Darlington Point to upgrade and enhance the lighting for better visibility, and $6,860 to the Punk Road Cafe in Darlington Point to paint the exterior of the building. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? No.
Sustain.
Like it to come back now, or change stance over it's been recorded.
Wait for Councillor Sherman to return to the chambers.
and a formally withdrawn comment from the.
Oh, you'd like me to do that, would you? I'll do that for you.
This is already gone public.
Thanks.
You know, you took me literally, you did go.
You do actually, so thank you, Kristen.
Councillor Turbin, I apologise for my statement. I hope you accept it.
Oh,
Thank you.
to item 6 now, please. Career report. Section. Yes, this is the state of the area report. In the determinant. Basically a summary of the last 4 years. Has achieved, things we might made for and, lots of statistics. It'll be a good guide to, or a good resource for guiding the community strategic plan. As we go good. And Barry?
And then someone or her in. But the area report, basically summarizes the last 4 years on the community strategic plan and identifies those items. Included pretty progress which have so it also includes an overview of performance and this is council's priorities for the next 4 years as well. The report council, the second recommendation report that's noted and will be published on it.
Somebody like to move, please? Move councillor Kersey, seconded councillor Thorne. Like to speak, councillor Kersey?
I think this is a wonderful report and it shows the effort that's put in by all the council staff and all the councillors and everybody involved. Shows our community's building and going in the right direction. And it's good to see that we can just keep rolling with this positivity and building our community for the future. So very proud of it. Thank you.
Any further comments?
It's good. It's a good report.
I'd like to actually make a comment. What it does really quite clearly demonstrate is how busy we are, but also how generously we have been considered with external funding that's coming to our footprint, because lots of what we're doing and have done, which is a community expectation, is only being made possible by the fact that we've been able to attract external funds. So I think it's a great ready reckoner for all of us to have a look at and to really, so that when our community approaches us and says and asks us quite allowably, well, what do you actually do? Well, this is what we actually do. And what we actually do over and above what is local government's core business. So I think it's a really important document that we all get our head around and we are able to speak to, so that it actually doesn't justify is not the right word, but it actually reinforces the fact that we are doing what the community expects and would like to see us do as a local government entity. So I commend Anne on creating this document, and I encourage you all to read it and be able to speak to it. Is there any further commentary? If not, the recommendation will read: the council note the Murrumbidgee Council State of the Area report for the year 2021 to 2024, and the report will be published on the council's website. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Yes. Carried. Thank you. Investment policy. In response to your last license taxes back in July 2022, eventually that's how I have to working investment in surplus funds. The review policy, there's essentially 3 changes that are proposed. The first is just to change the investment benchmark that's being used. So currently we're using
The Bloomberg was bond based bill index, but it's something we have to pay for, so we're just proposing that we, switch to a similar benchmark, that's released by the Reserve Bank of Australia, so that we can access that, more readily. The second, amendment that we're proposing to the policy is basically to remove the, concessional treatment of the Collegiate Community Bank. So previously council has set a target to invest between 10% and, ideally up to 50% of its portfolio with the bank. That was largely, made possible, by council receiving, commission on funds invested with Collegiate Community Bank, which is no longer, received. So we're proposing the council's consideration, to look at removing that treatment and basically, assessing Collegiate Community Bank on Bendigo Bank with on par with other banks. The third change recommended is just to pick back a date that is incorrectly cited in the policy.
Okay, would somebody like to move, please? With councillor Manager, second, councillor Black. Councillor Manager, would you like to speak to?
Yes, certainly. Yeah, look, I think they're two important changes. The benchmark that we implemented last year was a really accountable figure that we could measure ourselves about the performance of our investments. And due to that, I think we had an outstanding year with our investments. So it just gives you that target, and for us as council, the way to measure the performance. And the removal of the concessional treatment of Bellamley Bank, if we want to be sustainable financially sustainable in the future, we've just got to look at the best investments we can make. So I think it's makes sense to make that move. So, and just particularly in regards to benchmark, you can see in our reports that we're overperforming by over the performance of 0.42% for financial year to date. So that's a lot of money.
Okay, councillor Black.
I wholeheartedly support Caitlin and bringing this forward to council, and we have to do the best with the little bit of money we have in the bank to create the investment that will take us into the future.
Anybody else wish to speak against or have further comment? If not, I'll put the recommendation, and that will read that the revised investment policy be adopted by council. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Oh, somebody like to move?
We did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Troy and myself.
Oh, sorry.
Manager in black.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
Isn't on the post? Or did we say for or against?
Maybe.
Those thought we've done it.
You should have.
There was no reports on minutes of council committees, which was done, but that's officers' reports for noting.
Looks like we did both have one here.
Please. I make this the monthly investment report, for October 2024.
You missed it.
So, so as at 30th of September, council has just over $29 million in funds invested. That 55% of those funds were invested with the Bendigo Bank, which I would suggest is the very recently revised investment policy that will probably change as we progress through the coming months. As far as benchmarks go, again, this is referring to the previous benchmark rate, but all funds have been invested also with the act and the policy as it previously stood, and the benchmark rate. Recommended with actually note that report.
Somebody like to move, please. Move Councillor Churgan, second Councillor Murphy. Councillor Churgan, would you like to speak to him?
No, it's, council's, Patton's done an excellent job in explaining it all stuff.
Okay. Any further comment for or against? If not, I'll put the recommendation, which will read that council note the monthly investment reports identifying all monies council has invested under section 625 of the Local Government Act of 1993. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Okay, thank you.
Item 9 is the quarterly report for the Southern Community Fund, expenditure. There's no changes, proposed, this quarter to, unless something needs to be allocated. So the recommendation is just that the company staff works in those, basically as to the main outstanding projects there are the town water supply.
I'm like to move, please. Move councillor Strawn, seconded councillor Percy. Councillor Strawn, do you wish to speak to this? No? No? Any further comments or against, councillor Major?
Just a question, yeah, so where are we on town water supplies? Can we have a verbal update of them two projects?
Yeah, we've been, we've been holding a number of meetings with various agencies. We met with, Public Works, last week and Department of Health in relation to the Darlington Point storage, and we're, having another on-site meeting with our consultants, I believe, next week. And we've also, Justin particularly has met with the, in relation to the jewellery, water supply as well, with Public Works as well. So it is sort of ticking alongside.
So we got out of the West Gate yet?
I believe so, but we still have got the number two.
No. We need a big commitment.
But as I said,
Gotta keep it in.
I've felt about what quality Darlington points to the ball and the new storage tank, and it's just going to.
We engaged designers for the storage tank.
Yes.
Right, we have.
Yes.
And we've engaged designers for the water treatment plant in Jerilderie, the same one that we're occurring.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
We've done that as well.
Yeah.
So we haven't had an update from those guys yet. Or are they part of the conversations?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yep,
Just
very good. Thank you.
Well, that is progress.
with the design of the jewellery, water treatment plant, there is some still discussion amongst partners that I have, work, in relation to an upgrade rather than a brand new one. That we're still discussing.
What the original money for? Was it for replacement or an upgrade? We've had some funding for an upgrade, but that was not part of the
No.
original allocation.
Well, I believe it's a brand new facility.
Yeah, and as a councillor, I believe that should be honoured. I think it would be wrong for us to accept an upgrade when it was for a replacement facility, because technically the speak around that was that it had reached its end of useful life. And why would we put a Band-Aid on a bleeding system?
It'd be having, just not reinforced.
Yeah.
We wanted brand new facility.
We'll tell them we're watching, not Justin, it's Public Works.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yes, councillor Major.
So yeah, what's their rationale? What's their reason? Are they changing their mind, or is it about timeliness that they can deliver it quicker, or
Cost.
right? So it's
we're
a business.
financial, or we process financials to say that we pay for a new facility.
Because we've actually got some money sitting here
Yeah.
for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a new,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
a new, facility, not a refurbished, patched
So
facility.
we've got 600 in that grant for just, this one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stronger communities.
1.6, sack skill water, which is 2.2. We've spent a little bit of money in relation to that. That's probably not going to be enough for a brand new plant. Right? So that's where they're probably heading. So, it all depends. It all depends what plant we go for, on what it would actually cost. So
Another question is, so it can't be staged to like a brand new facility. So yes, we don't have we've got 2.2, what I'm seeing there at the minute. Is it something that we can
Yeah.
do
So
it in
this,
modules?
we've just got to have our consultant on our side, because as we always know, we get $150,000 budget to refurbish something, and then $300,000 later we walk out. Whereas a brand new facility, somebody will come in and say, we can build it for $450,000. Whatever, just use that. Brand new home for $450,000, or you put 150, which turns out to be 300. So once you start, once they start going into the wells and taking away any concrete that might be there might be cancer in the concrete, in the Rio and everything else like that, and they go back and they go back and they go back. That's what I'd be afraid of, with what they'd be finding in the old plants, as opposed to a brand new one there. And the size of the township of Jerilderie, you would nearly think that they could buy a packaged plant and just stick it right there off the back of a truck type thing to do
like
with water.
some of the thoughts I had about modules sort of.
Yeah,
doing like
that's
that.
right. That can do it. And if it needs three cells,
Yeah,
as we grow, we need a fourth cell as we get bigger, then they can be in line and do that sort of thing. So they're just got to think completely outside the box. That's why we've got a consultant engaged, so he can bring all of those things forward, because unfortunately, a lot of the times, Water New South Wales and Public Works think very ancient in what they deliver and not cutting edge technology. So
I think the fundamental issue to remember is it was a judged end of life.
yeah,
So, in any other business decision we make, you don't pour money into end of life. And I think while, yes, small rural communities are not growing at the rate of knots, that it is a community that deserves to have a water treatment facility that services them for multi-generations to come, not just a patch.
and we've got to be very cognizant that the reason why we're in this position is because they've changed the Billabong Creek's flows and everything else like that, which New South Wales Water has done. Changed the turbidity that's coming through. Our system can't handle that turbidity. We don't know, because it is a irrigation channel and not a creek, as they treat it, an effluent channel, as they call it. Those changes, we need to have a modern plant that can handle absolutely everything that they're going to throw at us into the future of what they're going to do at that creek, right? Don't be surprised if they, for all of the lobbying and everything that we've done to continue a flow in that creek, that means jack to them, right?
Yeah.
They could change it on a dime.
Right.
We could be having to actually build an offtake storage to fill it up, just so that we can be guaranteed that we've got water there, because they're not going to float it, not going to run anything in the creek. So that's why the plant needs to be able to handle everything that could be thrown at it, even things they don't even know that's being thrown at it now.
John, is there an ability to, you said we've probably got 2.2 million and it's likely that it will be more expensive. Is there an ability to internally borrow against our water and sewer fund?
Oh, well, you use your water fund.
Yeah.
Just in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's coming down. There is a safe and secure water funding stream out there at 90% for these things that should be paid for as part of it. It should be there.
It should be there.
We have successful application for safe and secure water. We're already there. So whatever's decided at the end of the day that we get, the extra money's come forth. If you hear what Minister Jackson has spoken about, everybody's screaming for another round of safe and secure water to be opened. And she said, no, we've still got applications, still got Jerilderie and everybody else, right, that's out there that hasn't, because of all the bureaucratic same stuff that was happening yesterday, need to make sure that if we go over more than 1.6, that Minister Jackson's got the money to make sure that it's up.
What frustrates me is when this money was initially allocated 5 years ago, the costs have escalated exponentially, and we are being space.
Yeah.
We haven't spent the money they allocated to us, and yet we may need more, but you can't allocate more if you haven't spent what you've already got. So, it's distressing that, the whole process is taking so long, and Public Works are totally unaccountable, and they are, they're probably actively slowing up the process because the money's probably not there, but that's not our problem. They allocated the money. But I don't want to see this project be minimised, or altered to suit a budget. It should be the best we can put in place to serve this community and the Darlington Point community and whatever for generations. So I don't accept that they're going to put in something that might suit the 2.2 million. If it requires 3.2 million, then we borrow to get it over the line and get the best project in place.
They're funded.
Yeah, but like,
If it only says 2.2, they're not going to fund 3
Oh,
million.
and that's exactly
So I think
same,
I'm on the same.
same scenario as we said. So 1 megaliter or 2 megaliter, that's fine. Right, exactly. Yep, agree.
It's an essential thing, water, you know, clean, reliable.
This is our job.
They're out there now.
This is our job.
They're just, the microplastics or whatever it's called. They've just changed that from 140 microns to 50 microns, down. The US is at 0 or 1 or something, so they still haven't made that approach. So they're going to start forcing us to monitor that and start doing as much as we can to take those plastics out of our water supply and everything else like that, which is a completely different beast on how they get them out, because they're suspended. They're actually deliberately put there. And it's hard. I don't know how that's going to be.
We also do PFAS as well.
Yes, the PFAS, yeah. That's it, microplastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Well, no, the PFAS are things like Teflon and all that sort of stuff, and all the stuff that got the chemicals, they're all the microplastics. But yeah, I'm sorry, my terminology might be North America, yours might be.
so in actual fact, the level of compliance is escalating. So
Yes.
should the amount of money, and so should the whatever. So yeah, we're happy to do what you want us to do, but you give us the money to do it and do it now. I don't think we should be in the slightest bit conciliatory towards a lesser rather than the most appropriate facility put in place for all of our water filtration and water delivery mechanisms. I think we wait long enough, like it's more painful than watching paint dry, and I don't think we should accept that, oh, well, no, we can fit it into this little bit of money. Oh, no, is it the right and most appropriate? We take the money out of the equation and you tell us what is the best. So, how do we get under that conversation?
Sorry.
No comment.
So finish up, just the Darlington Point Sports Precinct, how's it going to finish up? So has it been reseeded? Last I can call that be reseeded, lights and.
Yeah, been top first, reseeded, double lights, yep.
So what's left to be spent says.
So hopefully
87.
when it happens that Gary's organising, we'll be able to find out what the next round of stuff is.
Very
Get
good.
that done, eh?
CT.
Seats, yeah, transit, stuff like that.
It's a bit of storage.
So
too.
is there a list? Are you involved with the Darlington Point Sporting?
Yes, I am. There is a huge big list that we could do.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Obviously hasn't been put forth. There's a few little things that we could make things a little bit easier. One was putting a door in the little area at the visitors' change room.
Yeah.
We could use that as storage. Probably need to be fixed up a little bit, like gas proof. More storage, of course, for the gears that we use. Like juniors also have different things to seniors, so there's like tackle bags and things like that. So storage for that would be great. Yeah, more seating.
Well,
Definitely.
that was at that was the meeting, Robert, that was the meeting you and I went to.
Long time ago.
Yeah. couple of years ago.
That's why I'm asking for more meetings.
We have got a few cities, and I'm not sure about.
No, there's supposed to be seating in front of the, kiosks and stuff like that, and they were the plastics.
Yeah,
That's 2 years ago.
They
No, the lights have been fixed.
have they?
Yeah, I think they're all the, I think they are. Yeah, well, they're on at night, so yeah.
Yeah.
What about the back oval? The back ovals, so
Yes, back ovals.
they were done, okay, I would be there.
Yeah. I see it frequently.
Yeah,
So I guess when we facilitate this,
Yeah.
user group,
I'd like the user group to consider demolishing that set of toilets, which is on the
The far side.
far side.
As in the eastern side.
It's close. It's on the Carrington Lane side.
Jack's Place side, yeah.
little brick building.
Yeah, because I don't think we can refurbish it. I don't think we can, there are toilets at the kiosk and things like that, like in most other, settings or things, they have to go around there. So.
And it's a good toilet, I mean, we have a little bit of issue with the doors not opening, that's the other thing, actually, a lot of the doors aren't opening too well either.
right, with movement in the building or.
Quite possibly, I don't know, the
Or where
canteen
No, the
ones,
locks.
the locks, yeah, the canteen locks are a bit hard to get into. Did you have that problem too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
blocks.
Just little things that probably could do,
The key.
Yeah.
yeah. It's very,
Yeah. So,
Right, that's all the questions.
but that was on, that was not, sorry, I'm just like, that was.
Can be really helpful user in. Okay, so if there's no further questions, recommendation will be contents from the community funds report when those shown in favour, please say aye. Yes. Thank you. Item 10, please.
Dennis, I don't know. Fund. The funding of the students, $2,491, less, it's. Pull that fund.
there's no round.
Yes.
Come on.
That's the kind of.
Oh,
There's,
all right, that is the balance side. Okay, so it's 2,400. Gary, you got a project?
yeah, still up there.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, 3 trees ago. Well, it kind of set up the text, recipient created invoice or just to get it, so.
All right, if there's, we don't move in a second. Would somebody like to move, please? Move Councillor Price, seconded Councillor Kirky, and the recommendation will read that the contents of the new council implementation fund September 2024 report be noted. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against?
Then is this with developed patients approved on daily basis? It's in but recommendation is for be noted.
And seconded Councillor Saxby. Yep, I'm getting to you. Okay. Councillor Sherwood, have you any questions, Gary, please?
No, I'm just thrilled the bits we've got 10 room houses in town.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay, Gary, would you like to speak to your report?
I just like to bring council's attention to the transportable dwelling, PA 21, 2024, page 41. That is, just wanted to bring council up to speed about that. That's a relocated building farm, being located in Kookaburra Avenue. It was approved on the condition that I inspected it after it was placed on site to determine what extra works needed to be undertaken. In its current position, it isn't good, but placing the roof, guttering, branding iron, we're taking all the cladding off, placing out the brand new timber cladding. We're putting a veranda on it, cardboard, the wall around the base of it, as well as extension of that. So what I'm saying is that it's not going to remain that way in case anyone gets a comment or complain about it. Can't occupy the owners can't occupy it until such time as all this work has been completed. They'll be working on it. Hopefully that will, the majority of it done at the end of this year, early next year.
So we did the CC as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Are there any further questions for Gary, please? If not, the recommendation will read that the information contained in the development applications approved under delegation at September 2024 report be noted. Those in favour, please say aye.
Councillor McRae, I seek the council's resolution to add an item without notice. The tender stabilisation of unbound payment supply into the confidential section of the meeting. So council's willing to add that. We need a resolution to add this item and then we'll go into private business.
So the resolution would be that, for example,
This,
something like to move Councillor Major, secondly Councillor Curfew, that this item without notice meeting next scheduled meeting. Those in favour, please say aye. Against?
need a resolution to go into closed business.
Something like to move that we move into closed business. Movement, secondly Councillor Saxby. Those in favour, please say aye. Hence the roof by Caravan Park Gardens. Recommendation by Council 1, the client accept any of the tenders in accordance with clause 178 bracket 1. B of the local government general regulation 2005 for the following reason: the supply of 10 cabins based on the tenders received exceeds council budget of $1 million. And 2, resolve to enter into negotiations with selected tenderers in accordance with the clause 178 bracket 3E of the local government general regulation 2005 with a view to entering into a contract in relation to the supply of a minimum of 3 by 2 bedroom cabins and 1 accessible cabin for the following reason: to ensure that the number of cabins, including at least 1 accessible cabin, will be maximised within the scope of the available funding. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Which is the tender for the stabilisation of unbound pavement supply SC 739. And resolved on the motion of Councillor Chairman and Major that 1, Council endorses the recommendation of the tender evaluation panel, accepting the panel compromising of tenderers, stately fix, Riverina stabilisers and stable code for stabilising of unbound pavement for 2 years with a further option of 2 years, the maximum allowable contract period being 4 years. And 2, the contract documents and any other associated documents be executed on behalf of the council in accordance with clause 185 of the local government regulation by the general manager as the principal representative. Put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye. Thank you.